Ich grüße euch, edle Damen und Herren, und heiße euch herzlich willkommen zurück im Grundkurs Gaming und zu Kingdom Come Deliverance. Wir haben eine Runde geschlafen, kleines Nickerchen, eine Stunde. Vorher habe ich noch einen der Dorfbewohner beim Würfeln abgezogen. Und jetzt werden wir uns mal mit dem Priester hier unterhalten, wenn er denn noch da ist. Ach so, der ist drin, ne?
Hey.
Ah, so, Kuckuck.
What the hell are you doing?
Ich würde gerne diese Tür öffnen.
Hey.
Und, durchgeglitscht. So, dann reden wir mal mit dem Pater und gucken mal, ob der uns weiterhelfen kann
The
bei der
blessings
Suche
of our
nach
Lord
Heinz.
be...
And with you, lad. Take a seat.
Ja, klar. Reden wir uns mal. Setzen wir uns und reden dann mit ihm. Inventar. Was soll ich denn mit dem Inventar? Ihm Wein geben. Ah.
I'm sorry I can't tell you everything. But maybe we can work something out. But first I'd like to hear something about you, my son. With whom do I have the honor? Where are you from?
Aus Skalitz.
I'm from Skalitz.
Oh. I'm sorry. What about your kin?
They're dead.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Here, we'll drink to them. It must have been terrible.
It was terrible. It seemed so pointless. We had no warning. They just appeared and began the slaughter. God knows why. They killed anyone who didn't make it to the shelter of the castle. My parents, my girl, even the Deutsch who was on Sigismund's side. I didn't make it to the castle. I wanted to try and help my parents, but there was nothing I could do. Then I fled to Talmberg with the Cumans on my heels. They almost killed me. They slaughtered people in the surrounding villages. There was a pile of bodies in front of the church in Rovna. Folk who tried to take refuge there, but they...
My poor child. May God grant them eternal rest. And how did you come to get this assignment? I'd have expected Sir Hanish to send that old grouch Bernard.
Ja, Ja, das denkt er, ne? Aber, naja.
He did, but I found a witness and the trail led here to Ujitz, so he sent me here to follow it up.
Ah, well, congratulations. It's nice to see someone using their head to find things out instead of torture. We'll have to drink to that. Now the most important thing. What actually happened in Neuhof? The good folks hereabout are saying all kinds of terrible things, but I take most of it with a pinch of salt.
Ach ja, sie übertreiben wenig wahrscheinlich.
The rumours aren't exaggerated this time, unfortunately. The Neuhof stud farm was raided by bandits, but they didn't come to pillage or even take the horses. They only wanted to kill. They maimed the horses and slaughtered some people. I'm sure they would have killed more, but the bandits quarrelled among themselves and broke off the attack. And judging by what's left of our Lubosh, they're still settling accounts.
I see it's every bit as bad as people claimed. Dreadful. Well then, here's to those poor souls who had to die so pointlessly and so terribly.
I've told you all about me. Now it's your turn, Father. You don't look much like our parish priest at home.
Ja,
I noticed you're pretty handy with a sword. I wouldn't expect
das
that
sagen
of
wir
a
ihm
man
schon
of the
zum
cloth.
dritten Mal.
You know what they say. The Lord moves in mysterious ways.
But this is a bit more mysterious than others.
Let's just say I haven't always been a priest. Fate led me to places where affairs were settled by force. These days, of course, it's just a bit of exercise to keep me in shape.
Ja, na gut.
Well, we've had an agreeable chat, but now let's get down to business. So, about this confessional seal. Do you really want more innocent people to die?
Henry, that's not how it works. There are matters in which you can't make exceptions because if you do it once, you'll forever be tempted to do it again. If people stop believing in the church because their confessional secrets are betrayed, they won't trust anyone, and that's worse than even the most hideous crime.
Ich mag den Typen, der ist prinzipientreu, ne? Der ist bei klarem Verstand und so. Okay, du redest dich bloß raus. Eher nicht.
I understand, but that means I've reached a dead end. Those cutthroats will strike again and I can't stop them.
Chin up, lad. I might have a solution.
What?
If I tell you what Lubosh told me, I'd be betraying the confessional secret. But first thing tomorrow, I'll try something I think might help you.
Word of honor?
On my soul.
I always wondered about the things a priest tells his congregation. Where on earth do you get the ideas for your sermons?
Well, Ujic is in Prague. It's not enough to instruct people. They have to be entertained, too. If I only read from the Bible, I'd soon be preaching to an empty church.
Our priest wasn't exactly a bard. So what do you preach to your flock about?
It has to be something topical, condemning vices, and of course describing them in detail. A tongue lashing about the two popes goes down well these days. And stories from real life, with a nice moral to them, are popular as well. Especially if they're about fornication and similar scandalous vices.
Oh Mann.
Can you give me an example?
Well, recently a priest by the name of Jan Hus started preaching in Prague, in the Czech language, and the people liked it. I hear he always has a full house. A journeyman who heard him told me what Hus is preaching, and I like the sound of it. I'm thinking about putting it in my own repertoire.
What's so amazing about it?
The preaching of Master Jan Hus about Mother Church. The lamentable wealth in which the church is drowning has turned to poison, and nearly the whole of Christendom is contaminated. Just like a flock of hungry ravens, they settled on this land to devour every grain of gold and silver. They know no mercy. Their hearts are corrupted by longing for wealth, and they shamelessly profit from everything. You want to baptize a child? Pay. You want to steal and murder? Pay and you will have absolution. What if the devil himself were to pay? Would he ascend to heaven too? With such money gained from the poor, they buy beautiful horses to ride and needless servants to pamper them. They gamble at dice and dress their whores in expensive furs, while Jesus Christ walked barefoot and had no place to lay his head. Look to your consciences, you robbers of the poor, for you are seen by God and his people too. Amen.
Well, this Jan Hus character is quite a rebel.
Oh, the congregation will love it.
I don't
Denke
doubt
ich auch.
it.
Let's drink to that.
Funny. That last bit reminds me of someone.
What do you mean? My situation's completely different. Huth preaches against the prelates and the clerics who are robbing the poor. Look at me. I don't have a pot to piss in. I'm no better off than the folk I preach to. I'm one with them in poverty and suffering and everything that troubles them. I drink with them and curse those stuffed habits in Sassau Monastery.
Ja, also Jan Hus, ne, ein Reformator, Vorläufer von Martin Luther, hat dann auch die Hussitenkriege nicht selbst ausgelöst, aber war der Anlass dafür und ja, im Prinzip, wir haben es gerade schon gehört, ne, die Ideen von Jan Hus und Martin Luther waren in Ansätzen schon gleich.
Don't you think it's a bit odd when someone boozes and lives in sin with a woman and then criticises the Pope for debauchery?
No, I don't.
Okay, gut.
What do you think of this Jan Hus?
He's certainly a wise man. A little overzealous for my taste. If he got out of Prague and came here for a look, I'm sure he'd stop condemning drinking and lying with women.
Where can I find out more about his teachings?
You like it? I copied down some of his sermons. If you're interested, you can read them at my presbytery.
Ja, cool.
What do the common folk think of it?
They like it. They're happy to hear someone say what they think themselves, but are afraid to say aloud. Things that make them angry. And they're calling for change. In a few years, it'll have grown beyond control. You mark my words, the people will rise up and the church will be shaken to its very foundations.
Yeah, unless they burn him at the stake first.
Nonsense. They can't burn a master of the most respected university in Europe.
Ha, Fun Fact, doch, sie konnten, sogar nachdem ihm der König, der Kaiser, sichere Passage quasi gewährt hat, haben sie Jan Hus einfach geschnappt und verbrannt. Und er hat es leider nicht geschafft, die Kirche zu reformieren. Da musste dann halt der gute alte Luther kommen.
Thanks for the sermon, but I think I've been morally uplifted enough. It's getting quite late. What are your plans, Father?
What do you suppose? We have a drink, of course.
Okay.
That sounds like a good plan.
I knew you wouldn't let me down.
Zum Glück bin ich noch nicht so besoffen. Neue Stufe in Trinkfestigkeit. Aha. Oh Gott, wo wache ich dann wieder auf? Ah, lecker essen. Wein, Weib und Gesang. Und gewürfelt wird auch. Ich glaube, wir spielen Mätzchen. Nur 2 Würfel oder eine Fakel-Anfänger-Variante. Komm schon, Henry. Ah. Mächtiger Ritter.
Enough of this!
No.
Bailiff, come on over here, sit down and have a drink with us.
Don't vex me again, Father. It's 3 hours past dusk, and curfew is long gone.
So what?
So, I'll have you all whipped and put in the stocks, and I'll write a letter to the bishop about you, priest.
Well, nothing to worry about then. Everyone knows the only one around here who can write is me.
Und der Schreiber.
Men, throw them out.
Jetzt weiß ich, wie Hans sich gefühlt hat. Spaßbremse. Bisschen
You looking
sanfter
for a
vielleicht.
fight? Henry, back me up.
Oh, scheiße. Wirklich?
Come on then, Bailiff.
Ja.
Fuck it. To hell with you!
Okay, der ist down.
So, my dear, wouldn't you like to have a little ring on the bell? No sooner said than done.
Na, jetzt kommen wir doch noch rein.
I'd love to. And Henry too, I'm sure. Right, Henry?
Das ist eine
Stop that
Konkubine.
nonsense, Godwin. Are you out of your mind? What will people say?
They can say what they like. What do I care? What do they do to me? Watch the step, my dears. Careful, you don't hurt yourself.
Godwin, you're a buffoon.
Scheiße, bin ich zu.
Here we are. Look at this beauty.
Ich habe doch gesagt, ich mag den
We
Pfarrer.
can't do this.
Er ist sympathisch.
Who says? Get ringing, wench.
Jetzt denken alles brennt oder der Ort wird überfallen.
This is wonderful.
Ja, super. Was ist der Vogt?
Bloody oath.
Und warum ist er nackt?
And now, my dears, comes the climax of the evening.
Oh oh. Was hat er vor? Oh,
Godwin, you old goat.
Come here. Oh,
The priest has mounted up. What do you say, Henry? Shall we take a little ride of our own?
scheinbar sind wir wieder nüchtern genug. Schön. Okay. Was? Wow. Ich kann nicht mit ihm reden. Entweder ich bin zu
What is
betrunken oder... Keine Ahnung, ja. Ja, geil. Ich glaube, ich werde... Auffälligkeit 100. Ich bin nackt.
Well, I have to say that was a fine evening.
Romantisch. Gewinne das Vertrauen des Pfarrers. Fertig. Junge, den Questlog gucke ich mir gleich mal an, auf jeden Fall. Das Questlog.
Godwin, you beast! Get up! Do you hear me? Wake up, you drunkards!
Oh, fucking hell.
Where the... Oh, what the... Oh, who the hell are you? Oh, Henry. My great friend, Henry. Didn't we have a wonderful time?
You certainly did, you old lecher. Now you better pull yourself together quick. You haven't much time. There's some water and something to eat on the table there, but if I were you, I would move my hairy arse before my flock eats me alive.
Eieiei.
Oh, step on in my head. My guts. Oh, my poor suffering stomach. Oh, what was that woman on about? Before my flock eats me alive. I've forgotten something.
Mhm. Die Predigt?
What have I forgotten?
Where the fuck am I?
What the fuck was it? Oh. Mass! Oh shit, I have to say mass. I gotta say mass. You have to help me.
Klar.
How? You're the priest.
I can't do it in this state. Maybe the liturgy. But I have to give a sermon as well. Oh, this is a disaster. They're gonna excommunicate me.
I'd like to help you, but...
You can. You can do the sermon for me.
What? So, first I investigate a murder no one wants investigated. Then I drunkenly keep the whole town up all night. And now you want me to preach at them from the pulpit? Do you want them to burn us at the stake?
No. No, I've got it. Suppose that Sir Ratzig's protege. You just came from studying in Prague. And you want to share the words of Master Jan Hus, who you recently heard preaching there. Henry, look, from what I remember, we might have overdone it a bit last night. And if the bailiff or someone else complains about me, the bishop's gonna have my guts for garters. So I'd appreciate it. Stop gaping at me like a stuffed squirrel and start helping.
You're mad. You're stark raving mad.
I'm not. It's a perfect plan. It's flawless. Oh. How about this? If you help me with this, I'll tell you who Lubosch's cronies are.
Ja, bingo. Uff. Noch eine neue Stufe in Trinkfestigkeit. Oh Gott. Okay.
So all at once the confessional seal isn't so sacred?
Don't mock me. I won't give you a second chance.
Ja. Okay. Gut, klar.
Well, all right. But I can't make any promises about what'll happen.
No, neither can I.
What do you want me to do exactly?
I'll go and start the liturgy. Then I'll introduce you. You give the sermon I told you yesterday in the tavern, and that's that. No
Klar.
need to drag it out. If it turns out well, I'll tell you what I know about Lubosch.
Christ almighty. Fine then. We have a deal.
Wonderful. Let's get to it then.
Ich sollte mir was Passendes anziehen, oder? Ja, wir
Watch where you're going.
beenden die Folge am besten hier. Puh, Leute, ohne Scheiße jetzt. Mal sehen, spielt Jan Hus hier vielleicht irgendwie mit? Ja, da. dann erfahren wir doch mal ein bisschen was über ihn, oder? Jan Hus, ca. 1370 bis zum 6.7.1415. Jan, in Klammern Johannes Hus, war Priester, Prediger und Gelehrter sowie einer der wichtigsten religiösen Reformer Tschechiens. Seine Werke, die von den theoretischen Schriften John Wyclifs inspiriert waren, spielten eine Schlüsselrolle bei der Untermauerung des Reformationsgedankens. Im Jahr 1398 arbeitete er seine Thesen an der Prager Universität aus und verbreitete diese dort. Doch gegen 1403 brandmarkten ihn deutsche Professoren als Ketzer. 6 Jahre später mussten bis zu 20.000 Doktoren, Magister und Studenten die Prager Universität als Ergebnis theologischer Meinungsverschiedenheiten verlassen. Ab 1402 predigte Hus in der Prager Bethlehemskapelle, wohlgemerkt nicht in Latein, sondern auf Tschechisch. Dieser Ort wurde zum Zentrum der böhmischen Reformation. Aufgrund seiner kontroversen Haltung zur Kirche und seiner öffentlich kundgetane Meinung zur katholischen Ethik wurde Hus verfolgt und beim Konzil von Konstanz der Ketzerei für schuldig befunden, wofür er schließlich auf dem Scheiterhaufen verbrannt wurde. Nach den Ereignissen von Konstanz versammelten sich die Anhänger der reformatorischen Idee zu einer Streitmacht. Dies führte zum Beginn der Hussitenkriege von 1420 bis 1434. Als Questlog schauen wir auch noch ganz schnell rein. Die Wege des Herrn, und ich würde gerne das Questlog sehen, danke. Schauen wir mal. Ja. Die Leute in Uschitze teilten mir mit, dass Heinz zwar ein Dreckskabal sich am Ende aber dem Glauben zugewandt hat. Angeblich hat er viel Zeit in der Kirche bei Gesprächen mit dem Pfarrer verbracht. Ich sprach mit Pater Godwin, dem örtlichen Gemeindepfarrer, und versuchte mehr über Heinz zu erfahren. Aufgrund des Beichtgeheimnisses erzählte er mich jedoch nicht, was Heinz ihm anvertraut hatte. Allerdings versprach er, mir auf andere Weise zu helfen. Ich sollte den Pfarrer am Abend in der Schenke treffen und kam dem nach, weil ich sehr begierig war zu erfahren, was er zu erzählen hatte. Ich meine, dass eine Zeit lang alles eitle Wonne war, bis jemand auftauchte und uns den Spaß verdarb. Womöglich der Vogt? Wie dem auch sei, ich erinnere mich, dass Pater Godwin nicht besonders erfreut darüber war, und dann weiß ich nur noch, dass eine Schlägerei ausbrach. Ich erinnere mich vage an ein Glockenläuten, an Titten und, obwohl ich in Begleitung eines Pfarrers war, an sehr viel Blasphemie und Sünde. Meine Erinnerungen an die Ereignisse, die sich in der Schenke zugetragen haben, sind äußerst lückenhaft. Ich halte es für das Beste, selbst diese Erinnerungsfetzen zu vergessen. Gegen Morgen erwachte der Pfarrer in höchst unchristlichem Zustand. Ihm dämmerte, dass er eine Messe lesen muss und keineswegs in der Verfassung dafür ist. Ich muss mich umhören, vielleicht weiß ja jemand mehr über diesen hinkenden Heinz, okay? Pater Godwin, der nach den Eskapaden der gestrigen Nacht kaum geradeaus laufen kann, hatte den wahnwitzigen Einfall, dass ich an seiner Stadt von der Kanzel predigen könnte. Er versprach mir alles zu sagen, was er über Heinz weiß, wenn ich dafür eine Predigt über die Lehren des bekannten Priesters Jan Hus halte. Ja klar, wird ein Knaller. Wir haben mal ganz genau aufgepasst gestern Abend in der Schenke, waren noch nicht so zu und so, aber passt schon. So, gucken wir uns beim nächsten Mal an. Für heute war es das auf jeden Fall. Ich bedanke mich bei euch fürs Zuschauen, hochgeschätzte Damen und Herren, und hoffe, dass ihr beim nächsten Mal wieder mit dabei seid, für euch gut unterhalten gefühlt habt, und sage bis dann und gehabt euch wohl.